Hi everyone, so we're just going to look at this topic called currency exchange. Some of you have already looked at this before, so I'm just going to go through it again. Okay. So, I'm going to be basing this on the UK kind of currency of pound sterling. And the way we operate here is we have an exchange rate. And if we're going from pounds sterling to another currency, what we do is we actually multiply by whatever the exchange rate is. But if you're coming back from any other currency, if we're actually coming back, converting it back to pounds, what we actually do there is divide. So that's the two things that you really need to remember there. Going out from pounds to another currency, you multiply. Coming back from another currency to pounds, we divide. This will work with any other currency that you want to talk about, whatever you want to consider is your base currency. So let's just tidy that up here. So let's just go through a few examples here, just to clarify that. So here we're going to convert £250 to dollars. We're given an exchange rate here of £1 to $1.32. So because we're going out from pounds, just like a little diagram there says, we multiply by the exchange rate. So I'm just going to multiply the £250 by the 1.32. So just put that in there. You put that in your calculator and it should give you a nice number. But remember, the answer is going to be in dollars. Hopefully you got $330 there. Okay, let's go for another one. This time, again, we're going from pounds to another currency. So we're going to be multiplying again. We're going to euros. We've got the exchange rate, £1 to €1.19, 1.19. So we're just going to multiply that 480 by 1.19. Okay, and here it is. Your calculator will probably say 571.2. That's what it'll say there. But because we're talking about money, and if we've got anything other than kind of complete amounts of euros, calculator doesn't know what you're talking about. So usually you would go to 2 decimal places there. So it'd be a good idea just put a 0 on the end there. Right, let's go to another country. So we're going to convert £575 to Japanese yen. And we've got an exchange rate there, £1 to 160 yen. So again, we're going out from pounds, so we're just going to multiply the amount in pounds by the exchange rate 160. Just put that in your calculator, multiply it, 575 times 160, going to get a big number, and it's going to be in yen. Okay, so far so good. So in all 3 examples there, we converted pounds into other currencies, and that meant we multiply by the exchange rate. Let's see what happens when we go the other way. So we're going to come back. So let's take these dollars. We're going to convert them into pounds. Got the exchange rate here, £1 to $1.32. But this time we're coming back the way. We're coming back, so we need to divide here. And I don't think I can see it in that graphic there. Yep, I can see it there. Yep, just about. Just telling you downstairs there. We need to divide by the exchange rate. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we take the $726 and divide it by 1.32. And is it going to give me a nice answer on your calculator? Let's see. Yeah, it's giving us a nice answer. Right, so because we're coming back from another currency to our base currency, the pound, we divide it again. Okay, let's go for another one. Okay, we've got 15,900 euros and we want to convert that back to pounds. Again, we've got an exchange rate, and because we're coming back from another currency back to pounds, we're going to be dividing. So just take your 15,900 and divide it by the 1.20. Okay, so it's showing you there on my little graphic. I just want to clarify that we're going to have to divide by it. Okay, just make that a little bit smaller so you can everybody can see it. Right, because we're coming back from euros to pounds. Right, we are coming back from our euros to pounds, so we are going to divide by it. So take the 15,900 and divide it by 1.20 or 1.2. I would always put in the 1.20 just to be on the safe side. I know it's not going to have an effect, but I like to be careful. Okay, put that in your calculator, get a nice answer. There you go, £13,250. That'll do you for the weekend. Right, okay, let's move on. So what we did initially was just look at the situation where we were coming out from pounds into other currencies, so you multiply the exchange rate. Then we looked at another couple of examples where we're coming back from other currencies to pounds, so we divided. So we've got that sorted out. So in the next few situations, you're going to get stories that are going to involve other types of calculations. Whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, that's what happens. The exchange rate part, it might just appear once or maybe twice. So let's see. So this question you can see here, they're talking about a room in some hotel in New York. It costs $320 a night plus 17% tax. So we're talking about percentages here. So that's another thing we have dealt with in the past. The exchange rate is $1.62 to the pound. That's £1 sterling. And we're going to find the cost of the room per night, but they want you to give the answers in pounds and pence. Okay, so just highlighting, extracting the relevant information. Okay, it's going to cost $320 per night, but remember, in the small print, I know it's the same size as font, whatever, it's 17% tax. So we're going to have to work that out and add it to $320. Okay, we've got an exchange rate here of $1.62 to the pound because they want us to actually give our answers in pounds and pence. So that's where the exchange rate comes in here. Okay, so the cost per night is $320 before tax. We know we're adding on some tax, so let's go and calculate it. It's 17% of the 320. So 17%, we know that's 17 over 100 times 320. Okay, I know I haven't written this down, but for those who like to change the percentage into a divide, I'll just put it on the side here, and then I'll get rid of it. And just remember, this is a little video here, so you can actually put that in your calculator like that there. I'm not putting a dollar sign there because that's what you're going to put in your calculator. You just put in that there, 17 divided by 100 times 320. You'll just bring the dollar sign on board because we are going to have dollars in the answer. Right, I've just went straight from 17 over 100 times 320 because we're all big grown-up adults now, and I'm sure we can cope with that. Right. If not, then put in that line. That's why I put it in there. Okay. So you probably got your calculator did not say $54.40. Your calculator says 54.4. If it gave you a fraction, you know the button to press. It gives you 54.4. So can you just please include that zero? Please just put in a zero there, because we know we go for two decimal places here when we're dealing with money. Right, that's fine. Okay, so that's us got our 17% tax. It's in dollars now, so we'll get dollars and dollars, dollars at the top, dollars on the bottom here. So we can get our total cost here. Just add the two of them together. So 320 plus 54.40, both are in dollars. Our answer's going to be in dollars. That is the cost. That's going to be, that is a total cost, just like the heading saying there. That's a total cost. Very expensive, isn't it? Right, okay, let's move on. Just like saying there, we haven't answered the question completely. They want us to give it the answer in pounds. Okay, so this is why this is all about currency exchange. We need an exchange rate, don't we? So we need to decide here. Where are we going? Which are we going from pounds to another currency, or another currency back to pounds? Like we've got dollars there, we are coming back to pounds. Okay, so we're coming back to pounds here. It's 1.62 dollars to the pound, so we need to divide by that 1.62. Okay, again, another little kind of subheading, dollars to pounds, just to let you know what's going on here. That's 374.40 divided by the 1.62. It might not give you a nice answer. If you don't get an exact whole number of pounds, just go to two decimal places and don't worry too much about the rounding here. Right, so 231.11. So that looks like that is the cost of a room per night in UK pounds. Again, very, very expensive. Okay, let's move on. So we've got a little question here. Just give you a little bit of time here to take it in. But a lot of you, if you have been attending class, you've seen this question. Something called FACA, booked a holiday to Austria, and they want to change £2,300. That's important. They want to change that into euros. And what they're saying here, the second part, they booked a holiday in May when the exchange rate for euros was 1.6348. So that's what they're saying in that part there. Right, that's fine. They're telling you that. Okay. But then they're saying they waited until June before they actually changed the money. Okay. That's what they're saying there. Doesn't matter that they booked it in May. They waited until June, but the exchange rates are different. Okay, the exchange rates are different. If they did change it in May, which they didn't, it'd be 1.6348. However, they waited until June when it was a little bit less. So they're actually asking how much did they lose by waiting a month. And the important thing is, give your answer in euros. Oh, and remember, in both situations, they would have been exchanging. If they did exchange it in May, it would be 2,300. And again, in June, when they did exchange it, it would be 2,300 again. So let's go. there's several ways we can attack this or approach this problem. I've just done it as follows. That's me just highlighting information. Just remember, this is a video, so you can pause it, just in case you think I'm going too quick here. You can pause it. Right, let's go and get, so let's go for May. We'll deal with May first. I'm going to have the exchange rates for both. I'm going to have June on the right-hand side very soon. So here, it is 2,300 times the exchange rate in May. Let's multiply them together, see what we get. So we'll get a nice answer there. 3,760 euros and 4 cents. Fine. Let's move on to June, when the exchange rate was a little bit different. It was less, but still the 2,300 times the new exchange rate. Put that into your calculator. Be careful. Always double check your calculations. 2,300 times 1.5219. What did we get? What did I get? 3,537. Okay. In the question, they were asking about this person called Facker. I think that was the person's name. How much did they lose? So take the big number and subtract the smaller number. So take the May value in euros and subtract the June value in euros. And that will be what they describe as the money lost. So just pop that in your calculator and see what you get. 259.67, does your calculator give you that? Hopefully. So that looks good to me. Right, we're fine. But just remember, they did exchange the money in June. Okay? So this is all hypothetical. They could have waited to whenever. Right, let's move on. Okay, we're getting a big story here. Oh, stories get bigger and bigger. So we've got Zosha, who lives in Glasgow, and they're going on holiday to Portugal. They're probably telling you that they live in Glasgow because the currency in Glasgow, part of Scotland, part of UK, whatever. So it's going to be in pounds. That usually that's the currency that Zosha is dealing with here. She's got £750. Want to change it in euros, and we've got an initial rate of £1 to 1.30 euros. So that's that. It looks as if we're going to be changing that £750 into euros with this exchange rate. That's the initial part, okay? Right. So assuming Zosha has a nice holiday, and I've spent €845 during the holiday. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully they had a good holiday. When they come back, they want to change the remaining euros into pounds. So that's something we're going to have to calculate. But the thing is, what you need to notice here is the exchange rate has changed to £1 to 1.25, so it's went down here. Right, so we need to take a note of that. And what they want to know here is how much do they actually get back in pounds. Right, so we're just going to break this down into parts. So why don't we just go and exchange the £750 into euros? So we can see for £750, you can see that there, got our exchange rate there, £1 to 1.30. Right, so because we're going out from pounds, we're going to be multiplying. Okay, 750 times the 1.30 here. So pounds to euros, just like we said there, 750 times 1.30. And that should be a nice number coming by. And remember, the answer is going to be in euros, so put your euro symbol in there. So 975 euros. Okay, that's much to had. But it did tell you in the story that they spent a certain amount of euros. Okay, so we're going to deal with that next. So they're saying that they spent 845 euros. Okay, and then they want to exchange the euros back into pounds. So let's sort out, well, how many euros do they actually have left? Okay, so initially, when they exchanged the money initially, they got 975. So we're going to take away the 845 euros. Let's get the difference between these and see if we get a nice answer. 130 euros. That looks okay. Now, the last part was we want to exchange this back into pounds. So we're just going to bring back part of the question here. So we've dealt with this here. So we've got the remaining euros. Right? We know what the remaining euros is. We've just figured that out. But so we're going to change it back into pounds, but the exchange rate has changed. It's now £1 to 1.25. Right. So we are now going back. We're going from euros to pounds. So any other currencies come back to our base currency, pounds. So you need to make a decision. Do you multiply or divide here? Hopefully you know you're going to divide. So how much did we have? Was it 130 euros? I think it was. And we are going to divide by the 1.25. So that 130 euros, we're going to divide by the 1.25. These two seem like nice numbers, so we're probably going to get a nice answer here. Just pop it in your calculator. 130 divided by 1.25. See what you get. Okay. £104. That's good, having that money left over after your holiday. That's excellent. Right, okay, hopefully you got that. So we've had that was our third. I call them stories. That was our third story there. Let's go for the big story. Big story. Oh, I've just made a statement here because I always tell you to make statements. So just like it says there, so Zosha got £104 back when she exchanges her remaining euros. Fine. It's always good to write a little statement. It just puts my mind at rest. Maybe it doesn't put your mind at rest. Let's go for this last story. Okay. I'm going to make this a wee bit bigger, this one here, so you can see it. I'm just going to zoom in up to 200%. Oh, 200%. You love percentages. Right, okay. I'm just before I deal with this, I'm just going to have a wee quick look. Right, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we'll get what's going on here with this big story. This person, and they want to go to the Eurovision Song Contest. What doesn't say Song Contest, but it does in the picture, the graphic there. It's just being held in the Netherlands. That's part of Europe, and they deal with the Euro. So what we've got here is we've got several bullet points that involve costing arrangements. So here, there's your first bullet point, 275 for the flight, second bullet point, whatever, we'll get information there, third bullet point, we'll get information there, fourth bullet point, we'll get information here. But what I can see about the bullet points is we've got mixtures of pounds and euros. So, first one, the flight. Okay, they're saying the flight is going to cost £275. Fine, that's okay. Next bullet point, there's quite a lot. They're invited to stay with a friend for 2 days. That's maybe going to be important. And do they charge them? I'm having a look here. No, the friend doesn't charge them any rent money. That's fine. But because of that, they're going to buy him a gift for €30. Right, okay, that's another cost that we need to think about. Next part here, they estimate that they'll spend approximately €50 each day. Right, that's where this part, we need to connect these two up because they're going for 2 days. So that we've got a connection there. Okay, think about that. Okay, the final part, I think, that's cost and to do with the costing, we've got some price of a ticket, and it's telling us here it's €117.50. So I've highlighted everything, hopefully in euros, and the only one thing that's in pounds. Right. I'm going to go to the last line here. They've got a budget, okay, or they're budgeted, but I'll just highlight budget. A budget of £500. So because of that, I'm going to operate in pounds here. I think I'm going to change all my euros into pounds, and because of that, I need an exchange rate. I'll go on exchange rate. Okay, my exchange rate is 1.11. I want to clarify that. That 1.11 is actually for every pound. That is equivalent to 1.11 euros. So that's what we're talking about here. So maybe that was a badly worded question. But I've clarified it for you, hopefully. Right, so we've got all our information there, folks. Okay, so I think we're just going to, well, the way I'm going to tackle it is I'm just going to tally up all my costs. There's only one in pounds, and we'll get kind of 3 in euros. So I'm going to deal with that. So here goes. Here goes. Right, the cost in pounds, the only thing that was in pounds was actually the flight at £275, sorted. Right, everything else was in euros there. Okay, so that's my pounds. Let's get the costs in euros, and there was 3 kind of things here with the 30 euros that was intended to buy their good friend a gift. Okay, so if you want to put a little label next to that, that's fine. It just lets you keep track of things. And the other thing was, we're going to spend 2 days at 50 euros, estimated 50 euros for transport and food. So, which is 100 euros in total for food and transport. Okay, and the last thing here in euros was the ticket price, which is 117 euros and 117 euros and 50 cents for the ticket price. That's fine. So that's the kind of 3 things: gift, food and transport, and ticket. So I'm just going to highlight those exact figures here because I've got some workings in there, the 2 times the 50. I don't want to include that. So these are the 3 things that I'm going to add up because I want my total cost in euros here. So just add those 3 figures together. Sorry, I'm just squeezing this in here. 30 euros plus 100 euros plus 117 euros and 50 cents. Add them together and we get 247 euros and 50 cents. Right, that's everything in euros. But the thing is, the figure at the top for the flight is in pounds. The figure at the bottom, the total in euros, well, it is in euros. We can't add pounds and euros. We need a conversion factor here. So I did say earlier, I'm going to convert everything into pounds. So that final euro figure, the 247 euros and 50 cents, I want to convert that into pounds. So I need that exchange rate. I think it was 1.11 euros for every pound. I'm sure I'm right. I'm sure I'm right. So take that figure 247.50, and because we're coming from another currency back to pounds, remember you need to divide here. Divide by 1.11. Right. So when you put that in your calculator, 247.50 divided by 1.11, I don't think that's going to be a nice answer. Just round it to 2 decimal places, see what you get, and stick a pound sign on it. Right. 222.97. I think there's a 2 after the 7 there, but we're just going to round it to 222.97. Don't have nightmares about this. Right, that's fine. So that's in pounds. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to go for the total cost in pounds. So what we need to do here is take everything that we had in pounds. So we had the flight that was in pounds, the converted euros here. So we're just going to connect them up. Why don't we add these two figures together? And hopefully that will give us our total cost in pounds. Right. Add them together, and are we going to be above 500 or below 500? Right. Okay, 497.97. So it looks like we're below 500 there. So I'm just highlighting that. So the question was that the person, was it Ian? I think the person, doesn't really matter about their name, unless it's you who's booked the holiday, unless you are Ian. Right, so I'm going to summarise this here, because they're basically saying where are they within budget. Their budget was £500. So can they afford to go on the trip? If this is their estimate now, is £497.97. Right, so we're going to summarise. I'll probably call it a conclusion. Right, so in my conclusion here, in a conclusion, you can say yes or no, whatever. So I'm going to say yes, but I'm not going to leave it at that there. I'm going to give a reason based on my calculations. That's why I put in all the hard work. So yes, I've got enough money for the trip. There's a budget of £500. Yeah, that was the budget. That was the set budget. Well, we're going to compare to what we actually calculated. That's actually bigger than the cost of £497.97. Right, I'm going to leave it at that there. And actually, how much would they have left over? How much? £2.03. What could you buy at an airport cafe for £2.03? Oh, I don't know. Not much. Half a donut. Not even a coffee. Right. Okay, folks. I'm going to leave it there. So hopefully that's okay. Hopefully I've really condensed this lesson. Right. So some of you have sat through maybe 2 hours odds of me going back and forth with you. So I'm going to leave that there. So that's okay. But just remember, refer to notes as well, exercises. Don't just look at this. And also, please remember that you can also rewind this stuff. So I'm just going to stop this here, and I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Right, bye for now, folks. Take care. Take care.